Western Conference divisionals. Let's start. Atlantic.
The Atlantic, I'm very, very high on the Brooklyn Nets this year. I think they are going to win this division, and this is the toughest division probably, or at least the first or second toughest division in basketball, because you have the Celtics in this division, you have the Raptors, and you have the 76ers. I think they're all playoff teams, but for reasons that I'll explain as we go on, I think the Nets are going to be really impressive this year, so I think they win this division.
Okay. I'm going with the Celtics. I just feel like they're built better as a team. Sometimes team matters over talent sometimes when it comes to where we're at. And with the Celtics, they have a ton of talent as well. Oh. So level-wise, I had the Nets initially, but I pulled back because the Nets are above them talent-wise. Yeah. Celtics, because Kevin Durant does put them over the hump, but the Celtics are a team. They've been together a lot longer. I feel like that's going to give them the ability to compete in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Also, this is more so a regular season award anyway. They got young legs. Nets don't. I'm going to go with the Celtics. Okay. Central,
the Bucks. They're going to win it going away like they always do. There's no competition for them in this division, in my opinion. So the Milwaukee Bucks win this.
Same. I mean, the Bucks are going to win it up until Giannis's extension is over. I'll just make it that simple.
Yeah.
Southeast.
The Miami Heat.
Okay.
Now, who else is in this division?
I mean, you got the Orlando Magic, Atlanta Hawks.
Nope. I'm not saying
Washington Wizards, and then the Charlotte Hornets are the last ones.
Kind of an interesting division, but no, they are nowhere. They're not anywhere near the Heat.
Yeah, I was gonna ask who else would be an option.
Maybe one of those teams can push them.
No.
Okay.
No. Stop lying to yourself.
I think one of those teams can push them. I'll explain who shortly.
Okay.
But yeah, the Heat.
Playoff seedings. Let's see. 8th seed.
8th seed. I'm going to go with the. You want me to go all the way through?
Yeah, go all the way through.
Okay, so my 8th seed are the Atlanta Hawks. They're probably one of the most well-rested teams in basketball.
And
Between
them and the Bulls.
Yeah, right. And I really like their roster additions with Danilo Gallinari, with Bogdanovic from the Kings. Trae Young's a year older. John Collins, he's a good big man, and I like the draft pick too. I think they got the kid out of USC who they say is like Bam Adebayo light.
Yeah, diet version.
Yeah. So it's weird because the Hawks have been so bad for so long, but I think they're going to get into this 8th spot. Number 7, we're going to go with the Wizards because I think Russ is going to bring an energy that's going to transform this team on the court, and I really do think they have a solid team. It's just you didn't know it because they didn't have someone out there to lead them like him, playing next to Beal. I like their draft picks. From this year and last year. So I think the Wizards are going to surprise some people. 6, the Raptors. I think they're going to fall back a little bit because they're going to miss the leadership of Marc Gasol, and they're going to miss the just the playmaking abilities, especially interior defense, because he's always been a good defender, of Serge Ibaka. They haven't really replaced those guys. They still have a good core, led by Siakam, Lowry, and Van Vliet, who they're paying a lot of money to, but they're going to miss those bigs. At 5, I'm going to put the Heat. This is where the Heat want to be. They don't want to be in the top 3 because they don't want you to see them coming. That's part of what they did this season. So I think the Heat are going to be right there at 5.
Okay.
4, the 76ers, because Doc Rivers, not so much his coaching, but because now he's got a chip on his shoulder with the failures that he had in the Clippers, and he's going to want to be able to prove that he really is a good coach, that he didn't just get lucky and win that championship with the Celtics. And I think that he wants credit for being able to prove that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid can play together. I don't think they can, but he's going to get him in at the 4 spot. The 3, the Boston Celtics. Like you said, their coaching, their chemistry, their experience with each other, their young talent. Having been in this system, I'm high on the Celtics, so I'm a big Jason Tatum fan.
Right.
So I think they're going to be right there at 3. The Nets are going to be there at 2, obviously because of the 2 great players that they have. And I have warmed up to the idea of Steve Nash as a coach, but I like their ancillary players as well. I really like Karis LeVert. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. And, they have 2 bigs who can defend the paint in Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan for now. Now, if they make moves to get a certain someone, that could change. But I think the Nets come in as a close second to number 1, the Bucks. I think Drew Holiday is one of the best on-ball defenders at the guard position. And I think, obviously, Giannis likes it because this was enough to make him feel comfortable signing that 5-year Supermax deal. But I think that the Bucks, their regular season built, they take it incredibly serious. So I think that they don't have any problems in the regular season. It's when the playoffs start that they have problems. So those are my 8. Hawks, Wizards, Raptors, Heat, Sixers, Celtics, Nets, Bucks.
I can dig it.
Really high on the Nets.
I can dig it.
Yeah. So
I think we were close. We were close
Okay.
in that. I've done some adjustments and stuff too, just because of thinking and stuff. I've gone back and forth a lot over the last few days and trying to figure this out. But okay, Mine, I have number 8. I have the Atlanta Hawks as well. You persuaded me into this. Okay. I did not think the Hawks were going to make the playoffs initially. I like the additions. I forgot about Bogdan Bogdanovic. Mm-hmm. I forgot he came from Sacramento.
He spurned Milwaukee. He was going to go there first.
Yeah, there's some tampering investigations in which the Milwaukee Bucks actually just lost a second-round draft pick because of it. There was some issues with that and the way that was handled. So I forgot that he ended up going to Atlanta instead of staying in Sacramento. I forgot what team he went to. Honestly, that was kind of the issue. Yeah. So I have the Hawks at 8. I do like their setup. I want to see if Trae Young play defense. My issue with them is defense, and I'll mention before we get into the West of why I'm saying what I'm saying about these teams, and we'll get better details on it. Number 7, I have the Wizards as well. I think Russ and Beal together will be enough to get them the 7th seed. That's what they need. They just need someone to give them enough hard work and push to get them there. Thomas Bryant looked really good in the preseason because of Russ.
I like him a lot.
They did lose Rue for 3 weeks because he has basically pink eye.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just lost him for 3 weeks because of that, because it's highly contagious. So it kind of make no sense to have him out there on the basketball court with sweat and blood and guts everywhere. It's not a good idea. But the Wizards are going to be 7 mainly because of Russ and Beal. They're going to do a lot better than people expect. 6, the 76ers. I like Doc Rivers. I think Doc Rivers is a good coach, but he's not going to be able to do that much to make Philadelphia that much better. They lost Al Horford, so they lost kind of a major piece. I don't know what Embiid and Simmons are going to do together. Honestly, I don't know if Embiid's going to really be healthy this year. And then Tobias Harris, we haven't seen much from him really since he's been in Philly. Well, last season we didn't see anything. Season before we did, which he got that big contract. Yeah. Now they're cash strapped because they signed him to that big deal, and the Roosters, they haven't come on the roost yet. Right. You know, chickens haven't come on the roost because of it. 4, the Nets. And I only put the Nets here for one reason.
Is this 5?
No, I'm sorry, 5. Yeah, 5. The Raptors. I have the Raptors falling to the 5th seed. They're still a solid team. They can play. I don't know what it's going to look like for them into the playoffs, but season-wide, I think their team is still built to compete. Nick Nurse is a good coach. Kyle Lowry, Van Vliet's back. They got Pascal Siakam, who's going to do nothing but continue to ascend. Yep. Losing Gasol and Serge Ibaka might hurt them defensively, but I think OG is going to step in and potentially be a MIP and really take the reins that he needs to. 4, I have the Nets. My issue I have with the Nets is I love their complementary pieces. I don't know how their complementary pieces are going to handle dealing with both Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Not saying that they're bad people, but Kyrie does rub people the wrong way. We've seen this in every stop he's been in.
That's what you burn the sage for. That removes all that negative Kyrie energy.
There's impossible to remove negative Kyrie energy. But as you say that, my question is, how many games are really going to play? How healthy are they going to be? If they trade for James Harden, then yeah, they probably should jump up to the 2 seed. But the question is health. 3, Miami Heat. They can't sneak up on nobody anymore. We know who they are. Tyler Hero is probably going to have a sophomore slump, so I'm expecting that. But Duncan's already had that. He's been in the league a couple years, so I think he'll be able to step up in its place. They got Dragic back. Bam got that money, so I think Adebayo's about to have his MIP type season. We'll see where they go. 2, Celtics. I'm very high on the Celtics. I feel like their chemistry is really good. If Kemba Walker's knees can get them further as far as leadership goes, I feel like Tatum and Jaylen Brown can carry them the rest of the way. So I expect the Celtics to trade for a big man and make something happen. You might even see Al Horford back there again. You never know. And, of course, number 1, the Bucks. They're a regular season team, so I'm just going to give them regular season props. They're going to be the number 1 seed, period.
All right. I like it.
Conference finals. Or do you want to go through the whole playoffs?
West.
Do you want to do the West first or do you do the conference finals afterwards?
Oh, I see what you mean, going straight through with the East. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Conference finals. I'm going to go with the Bucks versus the Nets.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of chalkish in the sense of I'm just picking the top 2 seeds. But I do think both of these teams, both of these rosters, barring anything catastrophic, are going to they're going to eliminate all these other teams. These teams, I don't think, are better than these two. I know the Celtics are going to give one of these teams a strong push, as will the Heat. And it's for that reason that the Heat can't sneak up on anyone, that they're going to be taken much more serious than they were in the bubble. So I think the Bucks and the Nets are going to meet. You want my winner?
Yeah, give me that.
And I believe the Nets are going to beat the Bucks in 6 and go to the NBA Finals. So I'm pushing a lot of chips to the front of the table.
You
for
are.
this to be the first year of the KD, Kyrie. Well, technically it isn't their first year on the court
together, right?
Yeah, with
First year on the
Steve
court.
Nash and Amari Stoudemire and the rest of the Phoenix Suns crew as their coaches, Mike D'Antoni.
Good
and all those
point.
guys.
Good
Yeah.
point. That is Phoenix Suns coaching staff.
Right.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you
It's
think?
interesting. It's interesting. So for me, I have the Celtics playing the Nets in the conference finals. The Bucks will be eliminated again in the second round, and this time it's going to be by the Nets. So I'm very high on the Celtics. I think the Celtics, this is their year. If they stay healthy, they're going to push themselves, and they're going to beat the Nets in 7 and go to the NBA Finals with this young roster.
God, I would love for that to happen. I really, really would.
I want it so bad.
That would be so awesome.
I want it so bad. And so the reason why am I talking about all of this stuff, on our YouTube page, I just released some videos today why I hate your team this NBA season. I have the first installment of the Atlanta Hawks going to the right before H. I forgot the team before H. Off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Had a brain fart.
Yeah.
But and then I have Houston to the Knicks, and then I have the Thunder to the Wizards. So I have listed out every team, 2 minutes or less, why I hate your team. Go check it out on the YouTube page. I will also post it on our Facebook page today. It's already on our Twitter.
So
check
all
them
those
out.
fans of all those teams are going to be hitting up the hotline, and they really are going to hate you this time.
Oh yeah, because I ripped into all of them in most superficial way
you
possible.
Want the smoke.
I
That's
want
what that is.
every amount of the smoke.